Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a summer book recommendation, and I think I only have 7 summer book recommendations just for now. I wanted to make this video a little bit short and sweet and just kind of quickly go over some books that I literally... Am I too close up to the camera? Okay, I hope I'm not like too close to the camera. I wanted to kind of just do a really quick summer book recommendation about books that literally just give me summer memories, summer vibes, and just triggered the idea of summer when I read them. I'm not going to go into the synopsis because just like a lot of my other videos, I just feel like it takes such a long time sometimes to just re-explain the synopsis, when honestly you can just look at the back of the book or you can look it up. And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of briefly go over why I thought these were really great summer reads and why I thought about summer when I read them. And yeah, so we're gonna make this video like really short and sweet. I actually just got off of work, so excuse the lighting because now we're gonna shift to nighttime lighting. But overall I'm really excited to go over my books with you guys. And yeah, so I do want to let you know I do have all of my books written down in this little book that I normally use for my channel, so you are going to see me kind of glancing back and forth between them. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first book is I Hope This Finds You by Ann Liang, and I actually just read this book recently, so if you kind of want like more of an in-depth review, you can probably just read or watch that video. But I felt like this was such a nostalgic kind of like high school vibe of summer, more of like when you have that 3 months off. I don't know if everybody's like this everywhere where they live, but where I'm from, growing up we had like 3 months off for summer, and that was like, it's crazy because now as an adult I'm thinking, wow, summer goes by so fast. But that, sorry, you're gonna hear my cat in the background. I don't know why, every time I film she always starts screaming. But that is actually how this book kind of gave me, how this book represented itself. It gave me like a kind of teen angsty, kind of young adult upbringing. You know, all those like issues you've had when you were like in high school. Some of the things that you might find minuscule now, but they used to be such huge things to you when you were younger. But kind of taking place a little bit more during that school year, which also they did take like a little summer trip somewhere in like a little summer area. So I do feel like that kind of gave me that little like summer trip, field trip vibe. And then also I just felt like the whole summer parties, and it just gave me that type of like ambiance. So I definitely recommend it. The romance was really innocent, slow building, young adult. Yeah, this book was a really fast-paced read. I don't know what it was, and sometimes I wouldn't say it was slow, but sometimes not a lot is happening. It's more of like the same issue just kind of progressing throughout the story, but it went by really fast, and I did not find this book to be slow whatsoever. I did have times where maybe it felt like nothing was really happening, but it was never boring. Like, it was never boring. And honestly, I finished this book quickly. Like, it was a really fast-paced read. So if you're looking for something really fast-paced for summer, I would definitely recommend it. The next book I wanted to talk about is something I've read recently, and it's The Layover by Lacie Waldon. This was such an unexpected surprise. I did not expect to think that this book was going to be that much of a spring read. I thought it was gonna be like a really corny rom-com, but it ended up being like a really fast-paced, realistic rom-com. Like, a lot of the issues that the adults were having are like real life issues, and some of it, I'm gonna be honest, some people might find this a little bit irritating because it is like I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's like one of those tropes that a lot of people just don't like. I'm gonna say that like up front, but I think the issue was a little bit something where it's like, oh, that could have been solved a little bit better by just talking to each other. But it wasn't terrible and it was boring. The main reason I like this book too is because not only does it take place in a tropical area when the plane lands, but you also get to see a little glimpse on the protagonist's flight attendant life, which I found really interesting. And something about summers and travels just remind me of summer. I think some reason when I hear about traveling, I always think about summer, and this book really gave that vibe. There's like monkeys, there's bananas, there's a tropical island, so I definitely recommend it. It had like little summer bars, super cute read, super fast, and the romance wasn't corny at all. It was actually pretty cute. So it was more, you know, like angsty build-up. So I do have to admit that, which I found that to be really nice. So that's good that it wasn't just right off the bat. But I really do recommend this. I was actually kind of shocked by this little book, packing a big punch. The next book is a book I've talked about so many times, and it's Love in Other Words by Christina. As you can see, I have annotated it before because I found this book to be absolutely just so memorable. I can see why a lot of people do recommend it. It's not just one of those romance books that are just hyped up. There's a twist, and I really do feel like this was a big twist. So I definitely recommend this if you have not read it. It really kept me interested and captivated, and I recommend this book to a lot of people. The reason why I chose it as like a summer read is because it takes place in different seasons, but I do remember one of the memories of, I might be wrong, but some of the memories of this book I have are when they're like in their childhood homes, and also taking place a lot during the summer periods. So I do recommend it because I feel like it gave off that like whole nostalgic summer romance as like a kid kind of type of read. So it was really cute. Not that I had a summer romance as a kid. It gave me like that nostalgic feeling as like their upbringing during the summer and their homes during the summer, because I think she only went to the homes during the summer. But I also do think that it took place during a wedding in the summer. I just remember a lot of the memories. Whenever I think of a summer read, for some reason I just think of this book, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason why. So I hope I'm persuading you enough to read it, but it's a really good book. You kind of just see why things fell off, and it makes sense. Like it absolutely makes sense why things fell off. With characters and how intense this book is. This is just such a huge twist, but the romance was actually really cute. Although I don't agree with everything in the romance, I do feel that the romance was genuinely really cute. It wasn't freakishly corny or nothing. Like, it was actually a really good romance. So I totally recommend it for a summer read, and just a read to get all the like fit into all the seasons. But I do remember a lot of like summer seasonal memories reading this book. Another book I have to recommend is a pirate book. I just feel like pirates give off such a summer ambiance or summer feel. I don't know what it is. I think it's like the sea, the ocean, the hot beating sun, but whenever you think about pirates, you always just think of them in the summertime, and this definitely gives me like more of like a summer beach read. It's more like tropical, beachy. There is a part, like an actiony part, that does take place during the tropical island, but this definitely takes place like during the sea, and you kind of see a lot more why. But a pirate book, like, for sure. This is like a girls version of Pirates of the Caribbean, so I absolutely recommend it if you have not read it. It was really fast paced. I hear mixed reviews on this, but I personally thought that the romance was really cute in it too. I felt like it was really angsty, and it was actually really cute. Like, a lot of the parts kind of were like really squealy cute moments, so I recommended it a lot. I had so much fun with it. I also felt like the book was really fast paced. Nothing was slow. It was never boring, and there was always something so interesting. So I would definitely recommend this for the summertime, because I feel like pirates, girl pirates, perfect. It's perfect for summer. The next book is actually a book I haven't read for a really long time, but I just remember it being an absolute summer read, and it's Eloise and the Grump by Emma St. Clair. And I do have to say that this book was probably not one of my favorites, but it wasn't terrible. But in terms of like fitting for the summer ambiance, if you just want to find something just to read, nothing to put a lot of thought into, I definitely recommend this one, because it did have a lot of summer moments taken into it. I don't know how many times in this video I'm going to say summer, but it took place like during a beachy area, like in a beachy setting. Tropical plants, bugs. Summer has bugs, and there was definitely bugs in this. But it's just really cute. You kind of see a lot more unfold between the two characters. They are working together on a project. I'm not going to go into this because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but if you read the synopsis, you'll kind of get the idea. And they just butt heads a lot, but then a lot of things just kind of unfold, and it's just one of those cute little summer fling books. Really cute. Definitely recommend. A lot of summer moments. I do have to admit though, sometimes this book can be a little slow, but I wouldn't say just go into this book with a lot of high expectations. If you want just like a summer book to read, I definitely recommend this. If you just want something nothing serious, I definitely recommend this, because it definitely gives off a summer vibe for sure. So I definitely recommend Eloise and the Grump. Last but not least is Beach Read, and I know everybody recommends this book, but I totally recommend it because absolutely it's one of my most favorite Emily Henry books. Although I only read like 2 of her books. I kind of tried to read one before, but I wasn't a big fan of it. But this is one I for sure love. I read it during the summer. It definitely fit into a summer. Like, this is summer in a book. I can see why people talk about it. It doesn't necessarily take place on a beach, so don't kind of go into thinking it's like the sea beach, but it does take place on like a beachy setting, like kind of by I think it's by a lake. I could be wrong. I haven't read this for a long time, but a lot of their moments are like nostalgic summer fling moments. It really fit into that category, and the romance was really cute. It was actually a really cute romance. So, and there's like, it's a rom-com, but then also there's like really heavy topics in it, so it's one of those books where it's gonna still keep you invested and still keep you interested. It doesn't feel too jokey comedy. Like, there's some actual serious stuff that happens in this book, but overall it's a really cute read. I definitely recommend this for the summer, and I know everybody's gonna say it, but they're probably right, because this is actually like a really good summer read. I actually had so much fun reading this during the summer, and every time summer hits I always feel like I have to reread this again, because it gave me like a huge like feel of summer. So, and yes, I said summer a million times just now, but I definitely recommend it. It was just really cute, and you kind of see a lot. I think the parts that were really cute in the story is kind of seeing the connection between the two characters and what they end up kind of unfolding between themselves, as well as the setting of like where it takes place, like the town it takes place in, their homes that it takes place in. I just feel like it was like kind of like a cute little vacation read, and kind of like a getaway from reality, but then a lot more reality ends up hitting you at that getaway. Like, it was just a really good read. I definitely recommend it if you have not read it. And that is it for all my summer recommendations. I'm sorry if I did not go in depth about everything. I hope I didn't just simplify everything down by saying, oh, I love this because it made me think of summer. But a lot of these books really do, when I look at my bookshelves, they really do provide like the summer feeling and ambiance and memories I had when I read them. So if you are looking just for something in a general summer setting, definitely recommend these books. I feel like they were all really good reads for me. Some of them may not have been 5 stars, but they were still good reads. And if I absolutely hate a book, I probably wouldn't be recommending it. But even then, just because I might hate a book doesn't mean someone else might end up loving it. So if I felt like it fit the category, I would probably still try to somewhat talk about it, because I feel like sometimes some books that some people don't like, they recommend and I end up loving. So if you guys have read this before, just let me know what you guys think of them, and I hope that these books end up on your TBR, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Your hair looks longer than last June. There's so much I've been dying to know about you. Can I just... But we've